right now, we got our final topic, and it's a big one because reports have surfaced that final decisions on the future of Blade and Marvel's Armor Wars film are being discussed this year, and that there's a chance they scrap them or they continue with them, one or the other, and either project could suffer one of the two fates. So, not surprising. I must say that they were both announced at the same time 5 years ago, and there's been zero development.
Oh no, Armor Wars went from a show to a movie.
True, after being the War Machine movie that was supposed to come out after the original Avengers. Because remember, they revealed that? They're like, oh yeah, Don Cheadle was supposed to star in that, but then we put him in Iron Man 3 and said after Age of Ultron, then we said after Infinity War, and now we're saying after Endgame. It's like, this ain't happening, is it? It's...
No, not at all.
No. It's... Yeah. I mean...
Which sucks, because Cheadle deserves to have, like, a roadie thing.
Yes, he does.
By himself.
Yeah.
And I deserve it for waiting this long.
Yeah, we all deserve it. Like, it's...
I am owed this one specific thing, Marvel.
Like, they need to make it, but a part of me feels like that they're like, okay, we're clearly going in a different direction. We've pivoted again with Doomsday and what we're doing now. It might be too late for Armor Wars, because by the time it comes out, it's post-Secret Wars, right? It has to be at this point.
Sure, but I think the pivot of Doomsday and Secret Wars is kind of irrelevant when you look at the larger multiverse saga as a whole.
Okay, fair.
Like, there's no... I mean, sure, they've just been doing what they did with the Infinity Stones, but you could change those, like Infinity War and Endgame, and Phase 1 to 3 doesn't change, apart from the Infinity Stones, right? Like, you can do the... I think that's part of the reason why they make it this way, is because you can pivot the end game of everything, pun intended,
right,
without affecting anything else going forward.
Right.
I think the bigger factor here is Secret Invasion.
Oh,
because that was supposed to tie, like, you know, be the end bit of that, right? Or at least connected to it because of Rhodey.
Yep.
And then obviously also it's Armor Wars that's about to do with Stark. So, you know, maybe it is purely the Doomsday thing is the reason why it's not moving anywhere at the minute, because they are planning to do something with Robert Downey Jr. being a Doom variant. Iron Man is Doom in the Fantastic Four universe. That's the thing, and that's the reason why. So it's how do we do with this ramification now?
I have this like feeling that what they're gonna do is say Armor Wars after Secret Wars, and it's gonna be like, you have to fight for the legacy of Tony Stark, but also he came back as Doctor Doom, so now you got double the legacy to clear up, and there's Doom tech and there's Stark tech left over, and you're just like, oh, okay, like.
See, now to me, the smart idea, right, would be to replace the one. I'm not going to name which movie it was because it hurts too much to say it. One of the two in between Avengers movies with Armor Wars. And then you make Armor Wars a Battle World movie.
Yes, 100%.
And it's like, hey, here's Rhodey against Tony, but Tony's now Victor. Like, how do we go from That's what I would do, but are they going to do that? Absolutely not, because I think that's the smart thing to do, and they don't do that.
It bums me out that this is where we're at, but it's where we're at, and it's like, it's that movie. I still feel like Armor Wars could happen. Blade, though, let's talk about Blade.
What's it to talk about?
I was going to say, can they just say they don't want it to happen? Just say you don't want it to happen.
Yeah.
Just do it. Come on.
Yeah. Just say you announced it too early.
Yep.
You had no plans for the supernatural side in the multiverse saga whatsoever. And then just move on.
Yeah. That's the one to me that's like, you literally announced it, and Kevin Feige was out there publicly talking about how, well, we didn't even want to do Blade, but when you got a good actor that says, I want to do Blade, you hire him on the spot, and then you figure it out. It's like, so you never intended to do this, but you didn't want Marvel TV to do it,
Well,
And
they never
now,
intended to do it at the
true.
present. At the present, it
Yeah,
was never a
yeah.
case of they were never going. They're obviously going to do Blade at some point. It's
Yeah.
Blade, right? And I think Feige's on his. I'm getting my own back for all those like mid 2000s and 90s movies.
Right.
We're going to make them properly. Not saying the Blade movies were bad, but 3 was trash fire.
Uh-huh.
So I think he's on that kind of a kick. So he was going to get to Blade eventually,
Yeah.
just not right now. But this is an inherent problem of like TV shows, movies, video games, whatever, getting announced way too early.
100%. Oh my god.
Don't show it to me if I can't have it.
Yep.
If it's 5 years out, don't bother talking to me about it.
Yeah, like they legit made a bunch of big mistakes with this one, and I mean a bunch of big mistakes with announcements and how they're rolling it out, and also the fact that we've gone through 3 directors now, at least 6 teams of writers for Blade.
Yeah,
like, it's they, in my opinion, they should just pivot hard on this, make it a limited series or a special presentation at this point, and just call it a day.
Yeah, but you still have to have someone write that, and they can't get someone.
All right, so Giacchino directed Werewolf by Night on short notice, and he literally has no experience directing.
We are not going to waste his Blade movie on a special presentation. That movie gets a full-blown movie, and it will be like the new Del Toro. I guarantee.
Oh man.
But Blade's curse, let's be honest, he killed Eternals. He wasn't even in it.
Just the power of his voice killed the franchise.
I'll never forgive that man. No.
He saw the future. He knew what was going to happen. This is if I go down.
He knew his movie was never getting made, so he decided to take it out on me.
Mitch took it personally.
I have actually been attacked. Luckily,
they never revealed to the fans that is Blade, so they never have to acknowledge that again.
Except they did. You had Chloe Zhao the day after the premiere being like, "Oh yeah, that was Blade."
It's okay. The normal people that think Superman is in these movies and he's going to show up soon, they don't need to know.
I guarantee you, even people that did know forgot about that one little detail. Oh yeah, she did say it was Blade. Like, yeah, she did.
Yeah, this is where we're at now, guys. This is where we're at, and I don't like it, but it is what it is. And unfortunately, we are at this point where I don't think you realistically get any good update on either projects if they're going to happen, because what incentive do they have? Blade isn't going to be $1 billion franchise. I can guarantee you that. War Machine, I don't know, 400 or 500 million, maybe 6 max, but I feel like the character's time has passed. I
mean, people said that about Black Widow, right? And
true.
It's still sure they put it on Disney Plus, but it still did decent on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Now, would it have made more in theaters? No one can say. No one can say. During COVID, it would have made about 400 million because that was like the cap for that period of time in COVID.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. Which, again, to be fair, that's not a bad sum of money. Don't get us wrong, but
no, you go back like 5, 10, about like 8, 10 years. I'll get rid of 5. You go back that far, 400 mil was guaranteed sequel money.
Yep, easily,
absolutely guaranteed sequel money.
Remember, now One and Thor 1 barely passed that, and they were seen as failures, but Marvel committed to it because it's like, if you made over 400 mil, that was a guaranteed, oh my god, you've got a blockbuster. But now 800 mil is the new 400,
Yeah. You look at Shang-Chi and Eternals, came out, a couple months apart? One made 30 million less than the other, and one's scrapped entirely, but one's, I would say one's getting a sequel in a TV show. There's been nothing on that for years. So who knows what's going on with that?
Yeah.
It's weird. If we're in a weird time for the industry right now.
What we're trying to say is, why is Bob Iger racist? Why is the people with the, you know,
Because that
different
man
skin
was
color?
born in the 1800s. No. You know how people say like America's only 3 people old? Right.
Oh.
Bob Iger's older than those 3 people.
Damn it, Bob! What are you doing? Why are you like this?
Bob Iger went to school with George Washington's great grandfather.
Well, what is that crazy stat that like one of the oldest people in the United States right now, right? His great grandfather, so just one grandfather removed, was the 10th president of the United States.
Yeah. That's what I was referring to. Yeah.
What is
like,
this?
Literally
How?
3 people old. Like
That my brain cannot compute that. Still, I know it's a fact.
No.
I've seen the dude talking in a video, and I can't comprehend it. Like
it's like
that
this
doesn't
guy
work.
was what the 10th president, so that was at least 40 years of America existing. So he would have been alive
Right?
before that. So
Dude.
then he wasn't it like he had his son in his like 60s or something.
Yeah.
Which at that time was wild. That just didn't happen. And then he had his son, like the grandkid was born when the dad was in his 60s. And that guy's now still rocking about today. So it's like, wow, you're literally 3 people away from George Washington.
It's crazy.
That's how young America is.
That's
why no one likes America. You are the child.
That's a fair assessment. Yeah. A fair assessment if I've ever heard one. So
no one likes kids. That's why they don't like it.
Well, I suppose that's gonna, I guess, bring us to the end of this topic. So we'll see what gets on the chopping block by next year. So
the moral of the story is Disney don't want to do anything but white people anymore.
Yup. That's the fact.
If you're not white, it's a political message and we can't have that.